Yeah,
Hello,
okay.
everyone. Good morning. I am here with the amazing Morgana Sandpiper, and she wrote this incredible book. I was just telling her I cannot stop touching it. I realized I did not reverse the screen, so you might not be able to read this, but it's like soul mates less. And I love this concept of the book. It is just gorgeous. And I'm going to do a little reading from it later. But Morgana, welcome. Where are you calling in from?
Hello, I'm from New York State, so that's where I'm calling it from.
You're on the East Coast. It's funny. I'm actually in Gary, Indiana, but I know that most of the U.S. kind of uses the East Coast as like the standard. So I was like, I'm using the East Coast, but then we have all these people from the UK and Australia, and I've had to translate all these time zones. So it is a super fun, super long journey. And I found you and your book, and I was like, oh my gosh, we've got to feature this book on 24 Authors in 12 Hours. And I want to hear about what inspired you. What inspired you for this whole concept behind your book?
What inspired me? So, it's kind of like a variety of different things because this used to be like a completely different book, and then I made up the some of the characters back like 10 years ago, and I just kind of grew up with me as I watched different things because it was kind of very Warrior Cats based, and then like it kind of just kept on twisting and turning as I got into different things, and then and then and then I would say a lot of it is also having going back and forth with other writers, and and then one day I thought of the idea, like, what if everyone but the main characters had a fated mate? That'd be a cool concept. So then I kind of just did that. So it's just kind of like a combination of different things. Like I would say, especially like the Lion King and like Rapunzel and stuff. When I was really into that, I feel like that deeply inspired it. And then going back with other authors and then because I have a little writing group, and then going back and forth with them and being like, oh wait, that's a cool idea. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, it's amazing how it can all come together. And for those of you in the audience, I want to go ahead and put a link out here to Morgana's book on Amazon. There's other ways I'm sure that you can get that. We're going to be posting all of her socials and stuff over the next couple minutes. And if you happen to tune in later on, these will all be in our comments. So please go ahead and get her book. First of all, just go buy her book, and then I'm going to say something that I don't know all readers know, but one of the most important things you can do is leave an Amazon review for your favorite authors. Like that is super helpful. Or leave a Goodreads review. People ask me, "What do you want for your birthday?" I'm like, I would like an Amazon review. That's what I want for my birthday from now on.
Exactly. Agreed.
So kind of looking at that, you talked about you started thinking about this 10 years ago. How has your journey, how did it start and how has it evolved to the point where you now are a published author and you took that leap of saying, I'm going to expose myself out there and put my book out there?
Yeah, so there's like a lot of things. So it started off, I used to like draw a lot. I actually, by the time I was 7, I had this Romeo and Juliet story where, it was based on my obsession with The Lion King too as well, and yeah, I had these two characters. They were jaguars, and I was like, they're gonna have a Romeo and Juliet story. What? They're gonna die. I don't know why. I was like in second grade. I was like, these characters die, and they're gonna go through some. They're gonna go through a lot of things, and yeah. So I used to draw them, and I was like, and I have like a whole story in my head. I can't like draw it all out. I didn't know that comic books existed. So, so then I would like, oh, maybe I should start writing because I have a whole story. And then I just kind of, so then I tried to do that and then I fell off, but it turned out I liked it. So then I'd go back and forth between doing that and doing that, doing that and then not doing it. And then I'd be like, oh, I have another book idea. And then the teacher will be like, oh, you have to do a short story, and then I'll make it too long. So I would just kind of go back and forth, And then one day, like in middle school, I finished a fan fiction for a show because there was like a couple and it was like enemies to lovers sort of thing. And then people were commenting like, "Oh, I really like this story." And I'm like, you guys really like my writing like that? So I was like, let me try something original. And then I kind of went on and off with it because I wasn't very confident in it. And then one day in college, I was like, I'm bored. I'm gonna write a book. So then I ended up doing that, and then I got my first beta reader, and she's the one who really encouraged me to. She really encouraged me to write, and I kind of got addicted to writing through that. And then I finally completed a book that I actually like. So yeah, that's kind of
this
how.
was a gorgeous book, and I was complimenting you before the show. Like, this cover is just, it draws you in, and I love this whole soul mateless. Like, you take it a common theme and you do this twist. And so, looking at that, what was the greatest challenge you faced in creating this amazing work?
Yeah, a lot of it was I would say towards the end of getting it towards publishing stage, like I really did not have I wasn't very confident. I was kind of like, this is like I was struggling with the prose a lot. And yeah, I don't know. I was like, this is childish. I don't know if anyone wanted to read it. I had author friends that would encourage me, like, yeah, you just need to do like a little bit of tweaks here. But I guess, like, I don't know, my confidence was not very high towards towards closer to being published. But like, it was like, it's like when you know that something is done. I'm not sure, like sometimes something is done, but like also at the same time you're not confident in it, and you're like, well, there's nothing I could do to change it because it's done. But I don't know, like it's like there's like a feeling that's like, yeah, this is done, but like also I'm like, I'm not sure. And then I kind of just went with it because I know that so I was like, I know it's done. And I actually ended up fixing a lot of things last minute, but like not yeah, like some prose things like last minute, like a few months before publishing. I guess that's not really last minute, but but yeah, that was kind of the hardest part, like getting like right before publishing and like being like confident and stuff. And I feel like I could have promoted it better. I was like, yeah, this is yeah.
So, speaking of promotion, let's go ahead and share. If you want to talk to Morgana, follow Morgana. It is Sandpiper Writes, and she's on TikTok, Instagram, Threads, Facebook. I think I found you through Facebook.
Yeah.
I always get confused. I was talking to someone the other day, and I was like, I can't find you. I was like, I know we were talking on something, not Instagram, but I found you back on Instagram, and I felt like a little cyber stalking.
Yeah. No, that's all right. Or maybe it was Threads, because I'm not really on Facebook that often. I think
It's always like a little bit confusing to say, okay, where exactly did you connect, right? And then I also want to share your website out with everybody out there.
Thank you.
So please go ahead, check out Morgana, like her, follow her. I'll share my socials later on as well, because everything she's doing is, of course, going to be featured on the Facebook, on the YouTube, as well as cleaned up and put into Spotify next week when I have the energy to recover from 12 hours of interviews. So it's going to be a little bit of time. And let's talk a little bit deeper into your writing. So you've got one book out now. Is there going to be a sequel, or what is the future of your writing?
Yeah, so there's going to be this is supposed to be a trilogy. I'm thinking about doing a prequel with it, but there's gonna be 3 books for Soulmate List in total of the main series. And yeah, I'm working on that right now. It's gonna be well, first I'm gonna be taking a little break, but I have worked on it a little bit. It's looking fun, so I just need to figure out a few few things before I could get my first draft done. But I am working on it, and it is looking good.
So when can readers expect to see a book 2 or a book 3?
I'm hoping next year. Like I would think it'd be next year because I've grown a lot, and that one took 2 years. So I'm thinking that I'm gonna be ready to have another book out next year.
And that's a great thing to bring up. So I love to interview authors, and one of the things I think is great as a reader is finding what is going on in that author's head. Like, what are they thinking? So are you an intuitive writer, a structured writer, something in between? Like, how do you take that writing journey and channel it? Are you somebody who outlines and storyboards? Or are you somebody who's like, the character will take me where it will?
It is in the middle, definitely, because what happens is that I will start off with a story. I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing for this story. and then so I mean, like I'll just kind of go about my day. Maybe there'll be an idea that pops in my head, but then sometimes like I'll need to like actually flesh out the characters and the world building more to actually like get ideas, and then I'll find something. I'll be like, oh wait, that would make an interesting plot point. So then it kind of all comes together, and then once I have that information, then I'm just like, okay, I'm ready to write. Like I don't need to plan anymore. I just go through it and then see where the character takes me on this specific idea. So I'm a little bit of both. And then if I get writer's block, if stepping away from it doesn't work, then I'll just go back and start building up the story a little bit more.
Yeah, I think that helps sometimes to like just go back to the beginning and go, what did I even write? It's been like months since I read the first chapter, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there's a lot to the whole, like you said, the world building concepts too. Is like, making sure that you're true to that world and that you're giving it that authentic voice. So, were there any characters or scenes as you wrote it that it surprised you, where you're like, oh, I did not think this was going in this direction?
Raiden, at the beginning of the book, like, okay, so I wrote him in. His name used to be George, and actually, it's both him and Lydia, because they're like at the beginning of the book, in the prologue, and they're like this kind of legend type of thing in the world. And at first, like I had them in the book in like a play. There's like a scene. I'm not gonna say too much about it, but there's this like a play that happens and in the book at some point, and there's there's the two characters, Raiden and Lydia, and Raiden, and that used to be like their only scene, that they were just kind of like a Romeo and Juliet, like of sorts, like, oh yeah, this is just like a tragic story that like everybody knows about. And then I looked back at it again one time, and I realized I had two characters named George, one for one, because it was like I was trying to think of like the first name, like, oh yeah, it'll just be his name, the first name, male name that I think of that doesn't sound weird. And then so then I saw the scene again where he's at the play. I'm like, what if this was like something like, I don't know, Hamilton, where it was kind of like, where it was like actually a thing in the story, like an actual like historical moment. And then yeah, like George became Raiden, and then Raiden was like, hey, I want some more time. I need some more screen time. So, and not screen time, but book time, page time. So he ended up being a important part of the story for some reason, and I love him. I love him. He's my little Raiden, and I love Lydia too. I keep on talking about Raiden, but obviously I have a favorite.
It's funny how you do have favorite characters. I want to read this, and so for people who are out there, one of the things I'm going to say is I don't like to read too far into the story because I don't want to do spoilers. So this is the opening scene in chapter 2. And I like to move a little bit further than chapter 1 because most time you could pre-read chapter 1 or something, and I think it just kind of gives you a chance to check out something. So this is from the first page of chapter 2. and it's how do you say it? Is it Amius? Is this the correct pronunciation?
Amaya.
Amias. It's really funny too how you get in your head these characters, like who they are and how you should pronounce their names, and then you talk to the author and they're like, "That's not it at all," and you're like, "Okay, I nicknamed him George, right?"
I get it. I get it.
I get
Yeah.
George. Okay, so Amias. I can't move. I'm curled up in a ball, lying on the ground, bleeding from my chest and arms. My vision is covered in colorful dots as nausea creeps up my throat. Too much magic, too much energy. My brain is too weak to focus on anything other than the inability to get my body back up. I hear footsteps coming towards me and a voice, but I can't focus on them enough to know who it is. If a dream screecher were to attack me now, I'd be dead. Oh, I'm like, I don't want to die. Amos doesn't want to die. He can't die. It's chapter 2, but I am so totally feeling that moment where I'm like, and so the dream screechers. You want to give a little bit of that away? What is this? The dream screechers.
Yeah, thank you for reading out the quote, by the way. That was fun to, like, I don't know, hear you read it. Dream Screechers, they're shifters, they're a type of shapeshifter, and basically, they're based off of pumas, because I have a big cat obsession, and so they're pumas, but like their fur is either black or purple, and they have horns. And then they're also there's, huh? What did you say?
Of course they do, right?
Yeah, right, exactly. And like they're resistant to like a type of fire, like the fire that is purple. I thought that was a cool detail. And I don't know. I was obsessed with The Lion King growing up, so I think that's kind of where that inspiration came from for them. But yeah, like dream screechers are pretty much just pumas with horns, and they're fire resistant to purple flames that are purple. I just said purple. I just switched up the words,
and
but yeah,
is your color,
mm-hmm.
and definitely got that vibe. And like I said, I think that scene for the opening of a chapter, even though that's just a couple of paragraphs, you get there and you're immersed. You're immediately like, I want to know what happens. Like, this guy can't die. Like, I'm invested, right? And so for those of you who have not taken a look yet, definitely go ahead. There's the Amazon link here. You can order Morgana's book. You can follow her and make sure that you're doing that because you're going to want to read this book and you're going to want to read the sequels. Let's talk a little bit more about how has your personal experiences impacted your writing?
I would say that quite a bit for the characters because I don't know, I immediately think of Ignatia, my female main character. Like I feel like a lot of her character is like me when I used to so when I was in middle school and like late elementary school. I mean, I guess I did in high school too. So throughout my school career, I don't know what the word would be, in school years, I would like debate teachers and debate students on like things like when it comes to like racism and stuff. And I would be really passionate about it. And my female main character, she she kind of represents that a lot because she is like, like you can't be saying that about my people. Like, no, we ain't having that. And she's like, and she debates about it, and yeah, she's passionate about her people when it comes to that. So that's kind of one of the biggest things that comes to mind is like as influence. Like it kind of just influenced the characters. Like my experiences influenced the character personalities a lot. Like what I was saying with Ignatia. I would say even with my male main character too, like he's kind of struggling with like his thing is like he's struggling with dating and I'm single. So because like the dating market sucks and I'm like, so he's kind of, I guess he kind of has that part of me where it's like, man, this dating, like I want to have somebody, but it's just like, the dating world sucks. So it's like, is it ever gonna come? Well, we won't know. So
You
yeah,
will
definitely,
be
yeah,
soulmateless, and it would be okay.
yeah. It will be. But
A
yeah,
little
so
self-fulfilling prophecy here, right?
yeah, right. So yeah, so yeah, basically my experiences are really kind of inspired the characters and how they are and stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna just
Yeah,
go
I
ahead.
love that you shared so much of this. So I'm going to ask you a question I ask so many authors, and I think that this is good for readers to know because this is a journey. Like you come up with this idea, and like you said, you come up with different manuscripts, and you talk to all the people you combine it. But what do you wish you would have known about publishing a book that just one or two things that you wish you would have known before you started this journey?
Um, Everything. No, I'm just kidding. With publishing, like in itself, like I I feel like I should have started earlier in trying to get like more opportunities like earlier when it comes to marketing. Like I kind of I wish I had kind of marketed from the beginning and like built up the hype more. But yeah, obviously that didn't happen. But I was like, I feel like I feel like it would have been cool if, like people got to see my journey and stuff. I'm like, I feel like I should have done that. Um like before. But I guess I wasn't sure if I would finish a book, but but still I would have liked that. I
No,
would
I
have
think
liked
that marketing is super hard, and that's why we do this. I'm actually going to share a couple links about the show. So anybody interested on 24 authors in 12 hours, this is a marathon session every 2 months where I interview 24 authors in literally a day, 12 hours. And we have merch now that's new. So if you are interested in like a coffee cup or a water bottle, I thought my coffee cup was going to be in today. It is still on order, so it does take about a week or so to come in. We just got merch, but anybody interested, we also accept donations. But this is an author helping author event because authors, I don't know if people are aware, but most authors now, even people who are getting contracts, unless you're like J.K. Rowling or somebody, you don't have support. You're just like out there going, please buy my book. You're like selling on street corners. One of the coolest ones I saw that they're doing in my area is they're actually doing books at grocery stores. And they seem to be having a big following. And so I love books and I want to promote these amazing authors. So please support us so we can keep supporting these authors because this is a no cost. And what I will tell you is authors are getting harassed every day on social media of people who are like offering these crazy services who don't review your site at all. And so a lot of times when I do approach authors, they're like, okay, what is this? And I'm like, look, this is no cost. Like this is just an author helping other authors. So, Morgana, we also had to switch your time. So, if anybody came here to listen to Petra, she is going to be on this afternoon. And I did not remember what was your original time? 6 o'clock, 6:30.
I think it yeah, I think it was 6:30. I'm
Yeah.
sorry,
So, if you are going to
guys.
listen to Petra, she is going to be on at 6:30, and so please tune in for her. The other thing I'm going to do is shamelessly promote my own book, which is called Decoding History, The Invisible Thread, that is available today absolutely for free download on Kindle. So please go ahead and do that. And Morgana, what I want to do is open it to you. Any book promotions, anything else that you want to talk about on your amazing, fabulous book?
Yeah, I've kind of like I've just recently figured out what I'm doing marketing wise for now on. And so I mean if you wanna read Soulmate List, it is on KU right now. So you could go on Amazon and read it on KU if you have a subscription. Also, I'm going to be doing newsletters soon. So I'm gonna be doing an announcement on newsletters. There's gonna be a little bit of a sneak peek into book 2 because I have some of draft 1 done. So I'm gonna put out 2 chapters of book 2 out on my newsletters, and there's going to be more exclusive content and more chances for you guys to have an influence on the future books. So I would go to my website and sign up for my newsletter, and make sure that you confirm your email. Like there's going to be an email that asks you to confirm it, so please confirm your emails if you do sign up. But yeah, we got some exciting stuff going on in the newsletter, so I hope you guys would be interested in being an insider into my journey, and wanting to see like a little bit more of this book and more of what's to come with it.
Great. Well, thank you so much. We do have some comments in the chat. And Morgana, this is an incredible book. Thank you so much. You have just honored me so much with this time that you have today. I know you have to run, you have to work. I have to get the next speaker on. Thank you so much. And have a great day. And to those of you out there watching, we're going to be coming back. Please follow us on the Facebook and the YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, all the things. And thank you so much again, Morgana, on this amazing, beautiful book of Soul Mates Less.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. Like, thank you so much for having me on here and doing this little interview. I love having opportunities like this. So thank you so much.